All right, guys. Again, we've made this so ridiculously easy and simple to just plug in and start duplicating what we're doing. Now, this step three, while I would say it's optional, I highly recommend it. If you've done step one and if you've done step two and you've started getting pre-enrollees, then you move on to step three. If you haven't done step one and step two and started generating pre-enrollees, then I wouldn't recommend you do step three unless for whatever reason you've decided you want to have this marketing funnel that we use and it's for some reason that I don't understand. You really want to do step one and step two first, as far as I'm concerned. I'm not going to say you can't jump to step three, but it's like if you move in a sequence, you really optimize what we're doing. Like, for example, maybe you're looking at step one and step two and you're thinking, well, I don't want to just pay $30 a month and have, a trickle of pre-enrollees coming in. I want to go for the big bucks. I want to build fast, Mike. Awesome. But you have to ask yourself, why am I also doing those 1 cent leads in step one and step two and doing other things too? There's a reason, and I've talked about it a little bit in the previous videos, but if you just trust the process, you're going to get so much more out of all this. So my recommendation is do step one and step two first. Even if you want to do much, much more bigger stuff too, do step one and step two first so that it gets duplicated, because not everybody's going to do the big stuff and they can have success here too. And if you do the little steps, the little things, then they're more likely to do them. And you understand that experience, and then you can move on to the bigger stuff. Okay, with all that said, step three is system setup. You're going to get the marketing funnel that looks something like this. And there's lots of other pages too. You're also going to get one that looks like the very page that you're on now, so you can plug people into the same process when they enroll. These are the funnel pages that allow me to get so much more out of my marketing. And we're willing to give you those funnel pages, assuming you're tied to us some way. You're either in our HempWorks downline or you're in our Profit Platform and Ambassador program. Like, you need to be tied to us in some way because it takes our resources to support all this, obviously. So if you want our funnel, you have to choose. Do you want to use Kartra platform or the blog? The Kartra platform, when you click this button, you can go there and you can learn about it. And it's a very sophisticated platform. It's $99 a month. I think you can get a $1 trial for a short period of time if that's still happening. If you click here and you don't see that option, then that means you're not doing it anymore. But basically, it's $99 a month for a very sophisticated platform, which gives us a place to put your funnel. We need a place to put your funnel pages, your web pages, because this is yours. Like, we're giving you our content, our presentations to be able to send your prospects to, but we need a place online to put it. And so Kartra is a platform to be able to do that. And it's an all-in-one platform. So in other words, you can do emailing from there. You don't want to load emails into the platform in bulk. They frown upon that, especially if it's something to do with the CBD industry, because they have a really high deliverability rate and they're afraid of spam and stuff. So, but it has auto emails in place when leads are generated from the marketing funnel pages we give you. And that's really awesome. And so leads just come in, and then, and then you would direct them, your auto emails, the automated emails that we put in there would direct them to your HempWorks pages and stuff. If you want a different email system to load bulk leads into, for some reason, that's a later option that we talk about a little bit later on this page, but I wouldn't think about that right now. Right now, you want to get your funnel set up, and you're either going to use Kartra as a platform, which costs $99 a month. Again, it has auto emails in place, has a place for us to put your web pages and your funnel pages. It has hosting included. You would need to still you wouldn't have to get a domain name. We recommend you get a domain name. Robin's found a place for you to do that for 99 cents. And she talks about that as you continue through this process. You don't need to ask us about it. She'll walk you through that if you're getting all this set up. It has everything you really need all in one, which is really cool. We use it. We strongly recommend it. But if you want to keep costs down, you can choose to get your funnel pages put on a blog. And if you have a blog and you run into any problems, technically, we can't help you like solve problems with a previous blog you had someone else set up for you that you set up. But if you don't have a blog, or you just want to use our system and our process and keep this simple, then you would purchase a blog from us for a one-time cost of $99. And we're not making money on that, guys. Like, it's really challenging and takes a lot of resources to do this for people. We're keeping the cost. The reason why we have the blog option is for people that can't afford the $99 a month. We still need a place to put your funnel. So again, if you already have a blog, you could take that route, but you need to get help from somebody or be technically savvy enough. If you have your own blog already, that's cool. You can follow the steps in there. But if you need technical help and you're using another blog, we can't help you solve that because that costs us tons of money and time because of something wrong with a blog you already have. We can't do that. So ideally, you just get the blog from us so that we know it's set up right. And then you just follow the steps that are super easy. And you can get, it's basic. From my perspective, I honestly feel like it's almost free. Like this is basically a free option. We're not making any money on it. It's as cheap as you can get set up with your own marketing funnel pages. Now, let me be really clear. If you're on a shoestring budget, you could just be generating pre-enrollees with step 1 and step 2 and, not fully be duplicating what we're doing, but be generating a contribution to the growth of the team in step 1 and step 2 and not even have a funnel. But I recommend you get a funnel set up at some point sooner rather than later if you can, either on Kartra if you can afford it because it's easier to set up and it's more sophisticated, or on a blog if you're willing to do a little bit more work. Again, we walk you right through it with the training, but I recommend you get a marketing funnel one way or another so that you can refer your pre-enrollees that you're generating from step 1 and step 2 into the funnel, which again is a page that looks like this. And there's other pages too you learn about as you go forward, but this is the main one. And then this further qualifies your pre-enrollees. This is how I'm getting such great results. Got 214 enrollments in December. I was on the leaderboard in January with 30 some enrollments, and I wasn't even spending any time marketing because I was building all this stuff. And then this month in February, I already have 40 some enrollees and I'm number 2 on the leaderboard. And again, I haven't had time to put into it. It's all because I'm leveraging things like this. And in fact, right now I'm using this exact same thing. You get to use the exact same thing we do when you do step 3. To further qualify your prospects. They go through those presentations. They learn what our commitments are to them, what their commitments are back. It's really, really powerful strategy. So I recommend you do step 3. Choose if you want to use Kartra. You can click on that. You can learn about it. Don't ask us additional questions. You got to decide. Like, it's up to you. You want to use Kartra? That's what we use. If you want a less expensive option, again, if you already have a blog, you could use that, but don't come to us if you're going through Robin's training and it's not working. It means there's something wrong with your blog. And you'd have to hire somebody else if you have a blog to figure that out. If you want to use our blog, there won't be any problem. It'll be super easy to get set up. It's a $99 one-time setup. And then you go through Robin's quick training and she gets you set up with using our, getting your marketing pages set up. The other thing, if it wasn't really clear, the big advantage to Kartra is, first of all, is the auto email setup. If you go this route, you're going to have to get a different auto email system, which has an additional charge. There's different ones out there that we recommend. If you don't have one, you would go down here to optional, get an email system and get one here. And you can see what the cost of that is by clicking there. So the blog isn't an all-in-one system like Kartra is. Again, Kartra has the place for us to put the web pages for your funnel. It has the auto email already built in. You can't load in bulk stuff to it because they want a high deliverability rate. But when the emails are generated from the marketing funnel, it's already built in. And so you wouldn't necessarily need an additional email system with Kartra. It has the hosting already in it. The blog, again, once you have the blog, and you can use yours, but I've already talked about the challenge with that we're not going to support if there's technical issues with a blog you're bringing into this. If you don't have a blog, we'll set it up for $99. There's a hosting cost because it's not an all-in-one solution, which is about $4 a month. And then you have to get a domain name. You don't have to get a domain name with Kartra, although we'd recommend it. If you don't have to, you could use kind of their URL. They'd have Kartra in it. With a blog, you definitely would have to get a domain, but that's only 99 cents the first year with something that Robin's recommending, which you'll learn about as you move through these steps. And then what else? Just so you're clear on all the costs. 99 setup if we're building the blog for you, which will be a lot easier if you go in that route. $4 for hosting, 99 cents for a domain name, at least at the time that I'm recording this. That could be as much as $10 a year or so. Not a big expense though. We're talking almost free with this option of getting you set up with your funnels. And then I feel like, and then the email system you would need with the blog, definitely, that you don't have to have with Kartra because it comes with it, which again, you could see what the cost is of that at this time of recording by going down here, because that's what this is about. But you don't need that extra email system if you're using Kartra. Okay, so, all-in-one solution, $99 a month, a blog. It would still be less when you add all of that up, but roughly 65 roughly $35 to $40 a month for everything involved. And again, I'm just guesstimating because it depends which email system you use. Because when you come down here, your referrer might have put like an option down here that's free for the first 2,000 emails. So again, to factor in the cost, if you're going the blog route, you're going to need an email system. Go see what the cost is of the email system down there, which can change depending on email options available at the time you're watching this. So you're choosing Kartra if you want an all-in-one solution. You're choosing a blog if you're really trying to keep costs down. The other thing with the Kartra I should mention, one of the reasons why we really like it, is we get to basically just drop the funnel and the auto emails into your system. If you're using a blog, it's a little bit more work. Whenever we have like new funnel pages we might be testing, we might go, wow, this funnel page is working awesome that we're testing. If we want to just if you have Kartra, we can just drop that in really fast and easy with auto emails that go with it. With the blog, it would be a little bit more time consuming for you to go through some steps to get it into your blog. So something else to think about. If you're looking for real ease, the Kartra makes it a lot easier. If you want to just keep things on a shoestring budget at first, go with the blog route. Okay, so just make your choice based on what I shared. We really don't want to give additional information about this. Like, we can't have this process slowed down. There is no right or wrong answer. It's just based on what I just shared. If you want the easier route, you're going to afford the $99 a month all-in-one solution where we can just drop the funnels and the auto emails in. And as we continue testing different pages and different lead capture pages and different marketing, we find something that's working really well for us, we can just drop it into your Kartra. If that sounds great, go with Kartra, $99 a month. If you want to keep costs on a shoestring, if you want to keep them way down, you don't mind a little bit more effort on your part to keep costs down, and I already ran through what the cost considerations are. It would be considerably less per month. I mean, not huge, but if you're on a real tight budget, it could make a difference. And so we gave that option. It's basically almost a free option. We're not making money from that. In fact, we're probably losing a little bit of money from that just to administer it. So that everybody would be able to duplicate having a funnel on their own system if they can't afford Kartra. You could always start here and then upgrade to Kartra later. Just understand we can't offer a lot of tech support. We have set it up so that there are people that are not techie at all that are really challenged, like the older generations and so forth that aren't used to tech at all are getting through the training that Robin gave them with ease. But there are some people that are really, really, really challenged with following directions. They'll skip steps, or they'll watch a video once and then they made a mistake, even though it was right there stated and shown to them. And then they'll email us, but the answer was right there in front of them. Like, oh, I made this, you know how that goes, right? Baking a cake. Sometimes some people follow directions better than others, even though it's simple. So if you kind of fall into that category, we might put it back on you if you're going to do this inexpensive route, because we don't have the resources to be there for every question you might have when it's answered already in the training. So if you follow the steps, you won't need the help, even if you're extremely tech challenged. So watch, if you're going to go this route, like you go through it on your own. Kartra, you can get a little bit more support from us, but still, we're expecting you guys to be able to go through this because it's really easy. Like, you've got to take some responsibility on that part. And we know that it works because we have a lot of highly, highly tech challenged people getting through it. But sometimes they have to, people will send us a question and then we're like, okay, watch the video again. And then, sorry, that kind of thing. Like, it's really, really self-explanatory. So we've made this really, really easy. Anyone can get a funnel. Based on what I've shared with you, you choose. Kartra, all-in-one solution, easier, more powerful. But if you're on a shoestring budget, don't get left behind in this thing. Get it set up. You absolutely can. Go ahead and go the blog route.